Israel has been getting ready to bomb Iran's nuclear sites, which is a huge deal. If this happens, it may spark World War III. So we need to talk about it. Israel has been pushing the United States into war with Iran for decades. It is like one of their dreams, it feels like. Netanyahu advocated for a war with Iran way back in 2002. Americans have been consistently told by our media that Iran has a nuclear bomb. Iran's developing a nuclear bomb. They're 1 year away. They're 5 years away. I don't think it has happened yet, but they're still saying. Netanyahu has gone to our Congress time and time again to tank deals with Iran, to say this is horrible, to say that we should actually attack Iran instead. In 2018, Trump actually listened to Netanyahu's advice and backed out of a deal with Iran. But now Trump looks like he wants to make one. And right now, in Netanyahu's case, he recognizes that Israel is now a pariah state and that the minute something happens to stop Israel from doing what they're doing in Gaza, aka genocide, aka the final solution, aka Operation Gideon's Chariots, which I've talked about, he will probably lose power in Israel. And Netanyahu's #1 goal is to maintain power. And he would love nothing more than to drag the United States into war with Iran. That's why Netanyahu has been asking Trump to bomb Iran alongside Israel, which to Trump's credit, he's denied and instead pursued diplomacy with Iran, even giving up some what used to be ironclad terms that Iran cannot have nuclear energy. Trump's now saying they can, which is something Israel hates and is very scared of. So now in the past couple of days, we have been seeing a lot of reports out of Western media and Israeli media talking about how Israel is prepping to strike Iran's nuclear facilities, which would send the world into war and probably drag the United States into it alongside Israel. This is something Trump really doesn't want. He said he doesn't want to bomb Iran. He doesn't want to go to war with Iran. It's not what he wants. He, like I said, denied Israel's request to bomb Iran alongside them. And he also booted one of his national security advisors, Mike Walls, after he caught Walls secretly going behind the Trump regime's back to plan strikes on Iran with Israel. If these reports are to be believed, which I think they do have credibility, as we know Israel wants to attack Iran, they've been talking about publicly, it seems that Israel may bomb Iran's nuclear sites if they don't like the deal Trump's about to make with Iran. They would do it to derail the talks and send us into war instead. They would also do it if these talks fall apart. This is incredibly frightening as an American because I don't want to go to war with Iran. It's not a good, nobody wants to. Literally nobody in their right mind wants to. But if there's one man in the world who would send us into World War III, it's fucking Netanyahu. Talking about this man and analyzing his behavior over the past 2 years have showed me far beyond concrete evidence that he is deranged and will do anything possible to maintain power and popular support. And if he thinks that going to war with Iran will serve those goals, he will in fact do it. I believe he will. And that's what makes him so dangerous. The most recent example I can think of is how Netanyahu broke the ceasefire he had agreed to, gave up the chance of receiving all the Israeli hostages back, which was part of that ceasefire framework, because his coalition members in the Israeli Knesset left the coalition, they left government, leaving Netanyahu without the majority he needs to basically do whatever he wants. And they demanded that he break the ceasefire, put Gaza under total siege, and start bombing them harder than ever if he wanted his coalition back, and he did. He did it. And then he invited those guys back into government. And this also coincidentally came at the same time he was supposed to testify in court in his many corruption trials that are taking place against him for actually funneling money, billions of dollars from Qatar to the Gaza Strip, to the resistance. He's corrupted. Like, he funded the Palestinian resistance, who then launched an attack that allowed Netanyahu to use as a pretext to launch this genocide, which coincidentally, I guess, was at the same time there were mass protests in Israel against Netanyahu for his corruption, for him trying to overturn the Supreme Court and seize total power. It just all points to the fact that Netanyahu is desperate to maintain power. He will do it at any cost, at the cost of the hostages, at the cost of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian lives, at the cost of any of his collaborators and the Zionist government. It doesn't matter to him. If he thinks it's going to benefit him in the long run, he will do it. Anyways, do not support this war. Don't support war with Iran. We don't need this war. The world does not need this war. It is going to be the worst mistake. If you enjoyed this analysis, please follow my pages and share this video so it goes viral. Thank you, and free Palestine.